Birds defecating on your parked car. The weather in Arizona. Maybe that first sip of water in the morning. It's all so consistent. What else is consistent? ASU innovating. Hey, a couple of weeks ago, the university was named #1 in innovation for the 8th straight year, according to U.S. News and World Report. There are some sizzling hot players in the Sun Devil lineup so far this season, and it's time to update you on the younger guys who have taken the torch to the opponent. Starting it off with freshman second baseman Luke Hill. He's 6th in the Pac-12 in batting average. Just stunning. He's hitting a .416 right now total. Hill's also top 20 in the country for doubles so far this season, and he was a top 5 recruit coming out of the state of Louisiana. He's been proving that and has been a big-time addition and an X factor for Bloomquist and ASU. With so many events and so much hardware being handed out at the Iowa High School State Track Championships, it's easy to get caught up in winning. But for the Harlan Girls State Track team, they were focused on something even bigger. With changes happening all over this coaching staff, by the day it seems, we've decided to bring in ASU football reporter Cole Bradley for a breakdown on the new head coaching hire and more on football. Cole, what does Dillingham bring to ASU from an offensive scheme standpoint? Oregon Ducks, obviously a high-powered offense, but what's Dillingham going to bring to ASU? Changes, changes, and more changes. That seems to be the only constant in college sports currently. The transfer portal and record-breaking NIL deals with schools bolstering collectives backed by millions of dollars to recruit the best. College sports might as well be on Mars right now. There's just one problem for the Pac-12 schools. It's not an even playing field. One donor in attendance at Dillingham's introductory press conference named Knapp Lawrence was so inspired by Dillingham's call to the Valley, he donated $1 million to Sun Angel Collective to get the ball rolling. And as you can see, it paid off. 148 new members for Sun Angel Collective just 24 hours after that introductory press conference. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the reactions to ASU's last game against Oklahoma State on Twitter as fans taking to social media. And right out of the gate, I mean, come on, I had to bring it up. Oklahoma State already poking some fun at ASU on Twitter, referencing Herm in their caption here. Not super original, but let's take a look at something a little bit more shocking. Hi everybody, I'm Ethan Tuttle here outside T-Mobile Arena as Arizona State's getting set to take on North Dakota in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game. It's some of the older players on the Sun Devil men's hockey roster that have helped them get here. Players like Josh Doan, Matthew Copperud. But now it's the younger guys that are going to have to step up against a stout North Dakota program. I'm Ethan Tuttle here at TPC Scottsdale, home of the WM Phoenix Open. Well, earlier in the show we heard from A-Rod as well as Michael Phelps. Cronkite sports reporter Ashley Engel caught up with some more celebrity golfers as well as a U.S. women's soccer great. After a short off-season break, things are back in full swing with spring training underway here in Surprise, Arizona as the Kansas City Royals have pitchers and catchers reporting today on Wednesday. Everybody excited to get back and get that season started. Opened in 1994, Grayhawk Golf Club has been home to several PGA Tour events and is currently home to the NCAA National Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Ethan Tuttle, WCSN reporter. Today we're here at Grayhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm going to be taking a tour with Director of Agronomy Ernie Pock, and he's going to be showing us behind the scenes how they keep Grayhawk running and how they keep it in championship condition. Let's not waste any time, let's go check it out. Ernie, thanks for taking the time today.
Pleasure, my pleasure.
Right now we're on the Talon Golf Course. It looks gorgeous right now, Ernie, but we were just over at the Raptor course earlier. What's the process over there taking place right now?
We're just finishing up our overseed practices. That's the changing out of the Bermuda grass, summer grass, back to the winter ryegrass that we play off of all winter long.
And today, Ernie and I are going to be just kind of going around, checking out all the daily operations here at Grayhawk and what makes this course so special and how they really keep it at championship condition. With an overseed process happening on the Raptor course, I decided to hitch a ride with Ernie to take a look at the fairway process happening on Talon. So Ernie and I are here on 18 at Talon. You can see behind us there's a bit of trimming going on in the fairway. Ernie, what's the importance of the cutting of the fairway?
You know, with golf, it's all about consistency. So we make cutting fairways very consistent. We normally mow fairways about every other day. Very important process is to not take more than a third of the plant off at a cutting. And so that's why we try to cut frequently. As you cut frequently, your density increases on your fairways, hopefully getting us to a spot that we can produce our championship conditions that we do here at Greyhawk.
And kind of, are there any differences in the way you guys maybe cut the fairway, some of the patterns you choose to take, or how does that vary on a weekly basis?
Yes, turf grass likes to get, well, you hear grain, you hear the guys on tour talk about grain. We change our directions on cutting on a daily basis. It's either we say right to left, left to right, straight. As we get into the summer months where the Bermuda grass doesn't stripe up as well as our ryegrass, which is what we're on right now, we'll just mow in circles. Make a pass, follow it around, and we'll just make it smaller, smaller, smaller. But through the winter months, when we're trying to create the product we're trying to create for our guests coming into town, it's always striping. And let's say like today's Thursday, Saturday when he cuts this again, he's going to cut on the same line as he did the day before. So we call that burning in the lines.
After looking over the fairways, Ernie took me to one of Greyhawk's most infamous holes to eye down one of the scariest looking shots on the entire course. All right, I'm here on the Talon course. We're on hole 17, Devil's Drink. Why is it called Devil's Drink? Because water completely surrounds this 17th green, making it an absolute challenge for anybody who steps on the tee trying to put it close to the pin. All right, Ernie, we're here on 17. I was talking a little bit earlier about how tough it is to hit this green. There's so much water surrounding it, a little bit dangerous. What's your favorite part about this hole, though?
Depending on where the pin location is, changes the way you have to play the golf hole. Anything on this right side, you barely push the ball a little bit right of your target, it's gonna run out of green pretty quickly and into the water. As we use the front part of these pins up here in the front part of the green, as the greens get faster, as we get further into the season, you got to control your spin. So you have a wedge in your hand, but depending on how you hit your shot, you're gonna have to be careful with it.
With the sun still burning hot in the desert heat, we decided to drive over to Swinging Bridge. It's a hole at Greyhawk with a gorgeous view from a suspended bridge. Here, I wanted to get a better sense of the day-to-day since we couldn't see everything, and I wanted to see Ernie's involvement with ASU and the NCAA championship. So Ernie, we've kind of seen the greens, we've seen the fairway. It seems like there's a lot of variation in your day-to-day, and just for the crew as a whole out here. Can you just kind of talk me through some of the different tasks that you guys do here on a daily basis?
Yeah, the morning setup is pretty standard every morning. That's just preparing the golf courses for our guests, the mowing like we've seen today, setting of cups and stuff. And then our second part of the day is lots of variety, whether we're edging tee boxes to make them look crisp, edging cart paths, trimming deserts and detailing our deserts. We have a full team that's out there hands watering so we can protect our resources of water, so we're making sure we're managing the water properly. We'll see a team here in a little bit putting out fertilizer and stuff. So there's a lot of things that go into my day. You know, those are probably the easy things. The hard things are managing people, and everybody's got a little bit different way of thinking they're doing things, and I run the ship and trying to get them to do exactly kind of what my I would say my vision of preparing the golf course is. And you talked a bit about the Sun Devils. Kind of just tell me a little bit more about your relationship with them, and then how often are they out here in lead up to that national championship? So I've known Missy for a long time. So Missy's really involved with me. I probably played 2 to 3 rounds with the team discussing the agronomic side of the golf course, to look at it differently on the way that the grass shades are changing in the afternoons, and the way that maybe they could regrain a little bit better. And we talk about the valley break that you hear so much of in desert golf up here in this area. Matt with the boys team, you know, when we were starting to prepare for the tournament and adding bunkers and tee boxes for length and stuff, Matt was very instrumental on where we thought we needed to be. You know, we had his players coming out and just bomb and driver. Hit it as far as you can so that we have an idea where these bunkers need to be placed. All right, well, that's really interesting. So the Sun Devils kind of even coming in, helping you guys out a little bit in preparation for the tournament, and then you just kind of flip the script on them and challenge them for the actual championship. That's really cool. And your relationship with Missy Farquet and Matt Thurman, that's also great for the golfers on that team as well. I'm sure they love to be out here, so that's terrific. Great team, great kids on that team. I've got to know quite a few of them very well.
After soaking in all of Ernie's incredible wisdom out on the course, it was time to close out the day and head back to the clubhouse to return the cart. On the way back, Ernie was telling stories of family managing and working in grass at Arizona golf courses, for 85 years. Easy to see why Greyhawk is in such stellar condition. All right, that pretty much wraps things up here for our tour at Greyhawk. I just want to thank Ernie Pock so much for taking the time. Ernie.
Appreciation. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's fun.
All right, stay tuned for all the coverage on WCSN as we're going to continue to bring you all the best in Arizona State sports. Here with 3:27 left to go in the second period.
That logger back, but if you just keep your feet moving there, you kind of avoid taking that penalty. Instead, gets caught flat-footed, takes a hook or draws the hook and penalty. Logan Cooley, and now Minnesota their first power play.
Up top for the Gophers, they fire a shot on. Good save by Semptenfelter, couldn't quite cover it up. Puck still in play. Now it's up top with Kester. The Gophers moving the puck around the offensive zone, trying to set something up. Now with Middlestat. As they're taking their time, they're going to look for the right opportunity. Kester up top with it. Back to Middlestat once again. Fires on a shot from the top. It was Kester. Redirected away just wide of the net. And now Kamunzis has it, and he gets it out of the zone for the Sun Devils. And they'll rush for a change as Ryan O'Reilly down there in pursuit for the Sun Devils. Minute 5 left here on this power play for Minnesota. Looking a little static out there right now as they start to work their way back up into the offensive zone. Nevers has it on his stick with a great opportunity, misses wide.
He was wide open there. He could have walked in as close as he wanted to, and you got to hit the net that time. Wide open shot like that, and Nevers going wide.
Almost seemed like a deer in the headlights type situation there as he got the puck, and like you said, he was wide open, and you saw that, and he just kind of hesitated and then pulled the trigger. Missed an opportunity there as Minnesota has 30 seconds left on the power play now in Arizona State's zone. They find Snuggerud. He's already got one. Misses this time, just left. They get it out front, though. A lot of pressure from both sides. Minnesota with the puck on their stick. As Snuggerud tosses it up for Lacombe. Just 15 seconds left now. A good opportunity as they move around Semptenfelter, but it's a heck of a save. It looked like he was surely beat, but TJ Semptenfelter does a good job, an amazing job of turning around and making the save that time, and the student section loves it.
Wow, what a save that time by TJ Semptenfelter, but the power play unit just going to work and having their way with the penalty kill unit of ASU. A lot of quick passing and tired bodies out there for ASU, and a lot of puck watching, standing still, and a lot of close call here. What a stop, though, by TJ.
Now Logan Cooley going in for the face-off here against Kamunzis. Eckerly able to get it after ASU wins it forward. It's going to make it tough for Minnesota to have any type of offensive attack here on the penalty, or excuse me, on the power play. And Arizona State kills it off as Teddy Lagerback skates back to his bench, and now Minnesota back at even strength. They move it up through the neutral zone.
A huge penalty kill, though, for ASU.
Is Nyes with it. Stick handles around a man and leaves it for Middlestat. Finds a man back door, almost able to complete that pass.
A good active stick there by Ty Murchison.
Nyes with men in front, fires a shot on, but it goes wide as once again Minnesota struggling to hit the net on these opportunities. 24 shots on goal for the Gophers, 14 for Arizona State, as it's been all Gophers here in the second half of the second period. Murchison throws a big check on Snuggerud. Open shot in front, though. Saved. Good job there closing the legs as Semptenfelter took away the 5-hole from Minnesota. Logan Cooley up top for Minnesota. Stick handles around two players. Turns around, sets it back up. Fires a shot. Redirected wide off the skates of a couple of players. Minnesota doing a great job controlling the puck here in the dying stages of the second period. Just 10 seconds left as the Sun Devils able to clear the zone. One more attempt maybe here for Strobel as Minnesota fires a shot, and a great save by Semptenfelter. It's off the top of his glove, and that will conclude a hectic second period here at Mullet Arena as we've got a 4-4 hockey game. 25 shots on goal for the Gophers, 14 for Arizona State as we're heading into the third. Joseph, what are your thoughts after that active second period?